Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990 I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to '06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. So, prison tattoos and what do they mean? Uh, so, let's get right into this. Everybody's seen prison tattoos on people, especially if you live in the Southern California area. Uh, you always see the homies getting out of jail, and they're all of a sudden they're real fit and tatted up, and I always thought it was a real cool look when I was a youngster. About especially prison tattoos, a lot of them have meanings, and it's very important that you understand what those meanings are because it's going to change the way you do time. And I'll explain what I mean by that in just a moment. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button if you like this sort of content. Give me a share. Share this to somebody that may enjoy this sort of content, or maybe somebody that's getting ready to go to prison. Maybe it'll help them out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so when I drop new videos, you will be notified. So I'm going to focus on the tattoos that the whites get in prison. Basically, if tattoos are kind of like your business card, if you will, in the world of career criminals. A lot of times when you meet a new individual in a holding cell or on a yard or something, low key, you're checking out the tats to see what they have on them because they all have meaning and they are all earned. Now, this is a very important part of the story. And basically, when, say, you see a white guy and he's got a big giant swastika or something on his chest, that was earned in some act of violence. Now, when I was going through, I didn't have very many tattoos. In fact, the only tattoos that I got in prison were I'll show you. This is my daughter, my wife, my other daughter, and my son. And these were all done with a pick. And what I mean by that is there was no machine available to do tattoos when I got them. So they opened up a paper clip and sharpened up an edge, and you sit and just pick. Very time consuming, but you ain't got much else to do in there. So, like I started off with one, and eventually I got all four. Like I said, my wife and my three children, so I couldn't do one and not do the rest. Funny story with these tats. When I got my daughter Cora here, it had just got done, and it was kind of infected. It was risen up a little bit, looked horrible. And they came in and they shook down the house. And what I mean by shaking down the house is they came in looking for weapons or contraband. So they brought everybody out and they strip searched us out on the way out. And I was expecting that 115 to come. If you don't know what a 115 is, a 115 is a write-up for misconduct. And there's different levels to 115s. Some can land you in the shoe. Some can just be a loss of time. Like I said, there's different levels to that. So let's get back to the tattoos, though. So amongst the whites, if you are involved in a major riot, then you have earned either a swastika or a white pride to be tattooed on you. And, I was involved in several riots in prison, but I never got either tattooed. due to circumstances. I wouldn't have put a swastika on me because it just didn't align with what, who I was. Uh, maybe a white pride. I don't know. At that time, probably. But, you know, like I said, I'm not the same person these days. So, that's not something I would do at this point. But basically, you're like I say, you're going to put in work for everything. Some of the stuff that the white car likes to do as far as tattoos, you could get your letters. And what I mean by your letters, me being from us, Inland Empire, Peckerwood. So, a lot of guys would put an I and an E on their shoulders. And some would put them on their calves, or maybe they'd write out Inland Empire. I never did that. What I did do later on was, and I'll put a picture in here so you can see what it looks like. I tattooed, and I was trying to be kind of indiscriminate with it because, like I said, I'm at a whole nother stage in my life now, but I trust no one across like a necklace, and the I and the E are there. I also got several years ago on my shoulder. Let me see if I can show you. It's the arrowhead for San Bernardino, and I'll try to get a better picture of that to show you guys as well. Now, a lot of times with the woods, we do Purdue, but like I said, I have a lot of influence from the Southern faction, and I decided to go with that one. So, that's some of the tattoos that I have. And the thing is, now something to be weary of is if you get some of these tattoos and you haven't earned them, then if you are locked up, say you get your IEs on the street and you haven't put in work to earn those, believe me, as soon as you hit a prison yard, your hand is up, whether you want it to be up or not. So, something to consider if you're thinking about getting something like that, or, anything like you put your city. I've seen people put like Purdue across the back of their neck, or like a Viking type of thing. If it's something that is considered earnable, if you haven't earned it, then you're going to earn it. And there are exceptions to this. There are some things that you just can't earn. And, I've heard stories where people have basically had their tattoos removed. It wasn't in a good way. So, quick story on that. I was at McFarland MCCF. This is like a camp, basically, a very small yard. Everybody's on short time. And there was a wood that rolled up, and on his neck, he had a big 4-leaf clover. And in the California prison system, that has very big meaning to it. Only certain individuals are allowed to wear that. And if you're not part of the group that rocks that tattoo, then you can't wear that. You need to get it covered up right away if they're so gracious as to allow you to do that, or they're gonna come at you with steel. So this guy rolls up. He's got the 4-leaf clover. This, like I said, this is very low level security, and so some of the homeboys got at him about that and told him basically, like, you need to fix that because you are not that. And he ended up rolling it up on that. But they were talking about, removing him from the yard anyways. So he probably made a good decision, but I don't know if he landed anywhere better. I'm sure that was going to be problems for him everywhere he went. But, the thing is with these CCFs and MCCFs, these are yards where guys go and like most guys have like a year or less, maybe a little over a year. So these aren't very well established yards. You land on a level 4. Some of these guys have been there for 20 years. These places are very well established, and they have connections to the right resources, the right people that can give them a green light to handle things like that. So on the MCCF yard, there's no access like that. Like at the, when I was doing time, there weren't any cell phones out there, so you would have to send a kite or reach somebody on the streets that could reach somebody somewhere else, and discuss those sort of things to handle those sort of things. So not a lot of that stuff, not a lot of big violence was happening in these places, is what I'm trying to say. So, like I said, tattoos are cool, and I enjoy them, but be aware of what you're putting on your body, because there could be very big consequences that come with it. Your best bet is, if you're not sure, don't tattoo it. And if, like I say, addiction is 75% of these yards. Somebody that was addicted did something while under the influence, and now they're in prison. So your best bet is not to use. If you're thinking about it, it's a bad idea. If you're already addicted to something, get some help. There's meetings you can go to, and there's residential treatment centers you can go to if your addiction's worse. But the thing is, it's all about making good decisions. Compound those good decisions, and don't compound the bad ones, because eventually the hole gets too deep to get out of. And some people are lucky enough to walk away like I was, and some people aren't. So that's my video for today. Family, fitness, and freedom are what helped me to recover from that lifestyle, and it can help you as well. Don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.